My wife's ex just died. He left a kid who isn't biologically either of ours. How do I talk to my wife about taking the kid in? The author of the post is listed in the description. So yeah, basically what it says on the tin. My wife, Kara, used to be married to a guy with which she has one kid, my stepdaughter, Charlotte, 9. I've always wanted to be a dad, but I'm unfortunately unable to have kids biologically, so I've been treating Charlotte like my own daughter and showering her with love. After Kara and her ex broke up, he had his son Levi, 5, with another woman. Levi is not an affair baby. Kara's ex didn't even start seeing Levi's mom until a year after he and Kara got divorced. Last week, Kara's ex passed away in a car wreck. From what I know, Levi's mom won't take him in, and Kara's ex has no close family who will take him in. Levi is currently staying in a foster home, and if no one steps up, Levi will become a ward of the state and enter our state's god-awful the foster system permanently. The other thing is that Charlotte loves her little brother so much, and obviously she's devastated about her dad. I think that staying connected with her brother will help Charlotte through the grief, and that staying with his sister will help Levi. The thing is, Kara absolutely loathes her ex. Their split up was on pretty much the worst of terms, and their divorce was the messiest I've ever heard of. She once told me that if it wasn't for Charlotte, she would have moved across the country and never thought about him again. I'm worried that she won't want to take in Levi because of his connection to her ex. I don't know to talk to Kara about potentially stepping up to take Levi in, or if she might be gravely insulted if I brought this up. I know that Levi's not technically mine or Kara's problem, but he's an innocent child and Charlotte's little brother, and I would feel guilty if I didn't even try to take him in. Edit, since a lot of people have been asking. The reason that Levi's mom can't and won't take him is because she lost custody a while ago and has no interest in fighting to get it back. I don't know why she lost custody, but I believe that she's on the sex offender registry for something quite serious. Redditors give him some advice in the comments. Commenter: I would approach her from the standpoint of Charlotte not losing both a dad and brother. She just lost her dad. Now she might lose her brother too? Heartbreaking. Commenter: but please note, this does not mean guilt-tripping her into it. It's still a decision that needs to be a firm yes from both of you. Bringing the kid into a home where one parent resents his presence will not be helpful either. Point out how much it means and the positive impacts, but also prepare yourself to give her time to think and be ready to hear no as a response and think about what that means for you. Commenter: don't ask if she wants to take her ex's kid in. Ask if she wants to take her child's brother. No matter how much she hates her ex, her child is one to him. I love Charlotte. She is my daughter. She is half you and half your ex. I cannot in good conscience know that her sibling is out there most probably living a horrible life. I would like to discuss increasing our family. Commenter: I'd start the conversation with this. What can we do to ensure Charlotte can maintain a relationship with her brother? If things were as bad between his wife and her ex as he says, I could very easily see her reacting poorly to suggesting taking the kid in. This will give him the opportunity to feel around the subject, and best to approach it if it comes to that. Did Kara have a relationship with Levi before this? Answer: no, she purposely didn't form a relationship with him so she'd have less attachments to her ex. I actually saw the kid for often than my wife because I handle most of the childcare stuff with my stepdaughter, which included pickup and drop-off from visits with her dad. What did the ex do for Kara to divorce him? Answer: the better question is, what didn't he do? And is a man not allowed to sleep? He cheated, lied, gaslit her, they had screaming matches, and during the divorce he tried to keep my stepdaughter away from her. He made things up about her in court to try to serve this end. The only thing he never did was hit her. Update: 6 days later. So after reading through as many comments as I could, I was even more nervous than ever about talking to my wife. I was also even more convinced that this was a conversation I needed to have sooner rather than later. I also tried to get more information about Levi's situation and why no one could take him from my wife. And according to Kara, Levi's mom emigrated from another country and doesn't have any family here. One of her ex's parents is in aged care, and the other is unwilling for some reason. As for the rest of his extended family, I don't know, and neither does she. But she did say that he's no contact with most of his family and has been disowned by a fair number of them. Someone may reach out in the future, but it seems unlikely. Last night, Charlotte was over at her friend's house for a sleepover, so Kara and I had dinner alone together. I started by bringing up how lonely I thought Charlotte was, and how glad I was that she was feeling well enough to go over to her friend's house. Kara agreed, and I basically got straight to the point by saying how I thought that she'd feel better if she could spend time with her brother, and asked if she might consider taking on Levi as a kinship foster. Kara looked thoughtful for a minute before tentatively agreeing. We're going to be taking steps to see about taking him in, and at the very least setting up visits so that the siblings can see each other. This is a huge weight off my shoulders, knowing that she doesn't resent a little kid for her relationship with his father, and that she was able to have a rational conversation regarding a topic related to her ex. The last time we had a conversation about him, I'd accidentally used a phrase that her ex used a lot during their fights, and she got triggered by it. She ended up storming out and staying at a hotel for the night so that she could calm down. She's a lovely woman. I know it might not seem like that from my posts, but she really is. She had a really toxic and borderline abusive relationship, which almost resulted in her losing access to her daughter. So I hope that y'all don't think of her as a monster, but as a loving wife and mother with some trauma that she's trying her damnedest to work through with the support of her therapist and myself. Okay, next story. I lost my wife 3 years ago. Started dating again, and new girlfriend wants to visit my wife's grave. I am one of many who lost someone in that damn 2020. She was my world, and we had our future all set up. She wanted children too by 2021, and then she was gone. I felt I had lost all sense of purpose, and after an agonizing year, moved away. Not too far, but not close either. I didn't feel like I could breathe in that town. Still, every Saturday I get back and visit her resting place. I just functioned for about 2 years. I am not depressed or anything like that, but I just functioned. Until I met who we will call Aita last year. We started talking and hanging out together. She can be a bit haughty with people she doesn't know well, but I was surprised to find out how sweet and kind she is under the ice. She gave me something to look forward to again. She likes to do most of the talking herself, which is fine with me because I never know what to say. She knows everything about my wife, and this didn't discourage her. She knows I am doing therapy and still mourning, but she never left me alone. I asked her to tell me if anything I do or say makes her feel uncomfortable or like she's not a priority. She said that as of now, I am doing nothing of the sort. She knows what I do every Saturday morning and never objected to it. But today she said she would like to meet her, as in accompany me in visiting her grave. I feel conflicted about this. On one hand, I respect and feel touched by her wish. On other, it feels weird for a guy to take the new girlfriend where the first wife is buried. How should I approach this? Is it too soon? Should I ask her to wait for that? Comments before update. Commenter, waiting is fine if you are not ready. It feels like she wants to support you in something that was, and I'm sure still is, pretty traumatic. Joining you to visit isn't about meeting your wife. It's about being with you whilst you are still grieving, recovering. Commenter, came here to say this last part. She genuinely wants to be a part of your life and support you, bro. This is actually kind of beautiful. On the flip note, it's totally understandable that you might not be ready, though. Answer, thank you. I admit that one of my biggest concerns is that I don't want to take advantage of her goodwill, even unintentionally. Her kindness and patience are near infinite. But I told her I don't want our relationship to be all about this. It would not be fair for her. She reassured me she doesn't feel taken advantage of, and that I do a lot to make her feel loved and appreciated for who she is. But at the same, she recognizes this is a part of me she's willing to accept to be with me. To clarify, I don't do anything dramatic like talking to her grave or crying my eyes out when I visit. I just keep it clean. Water the flowers and replace the dead ones, check the wear and tear on the stone, and clean the glass with her picture. Update, 6 days later. Some Redditors and some people around us were worried that my relationship with Ada is just a rebound. I admit is something that I too was worried about, and Ada told me she didn't have long-lasting expectations at first. We began dating in April 2023. But as things progressed and she saw my intentions are serious and I'm committed, her doubts about me were gone. She says we are made of the same stuff. We are two loyal, committed, and hardworking people, and she wants a future with me. And so do I. We are looking for a new place to share, and I'm looking for the ring to make my proposal. I admit that one of my biggest concerns is that I don't want to take advantage of her goodwill, even unintentionally. Her kindness and patience are near infinite, but I told her I don't want our relationship to be all about my past. It would not be fair for her. She reassured me she doesn't feel taken advantage of, and that I do a lot to make her feel loved and appreciated for who she is. But at the same, she recognizes this is a part of me she's willing to accept to be with me. To my surprise, everyone approves of us. My parents, Ada's parents, and my late wife's mother. We never got any backlash. On the update, I talked about this with my therapist. She feels that based on what she knows about Ada and the way she always behaved about this, that bringing her to my wife's grave will probably be a positive thing. So I told Ada that if she feels like it, I'd be glad to take her with me this Saturday. She was happy to hear this. She usually works on Saturday mornings, but said she'd take the morning off for me. However, I had unexpected things come up for tomorrow. I have to cover for a sick coworker, which means I'll be taken all morning and great part of the afternoon. It happens, and when it happens, I either go on Friday or Sunday. I decided to go this afternoon. We are in Europe, it's evening here, and asked Ada if she wanted to come along, and she readily agreed. We didn't talk much during the drive. When we arrived, we made our way to my wife's tombstone, and I just said, "Well, here she is." I fetched the water for the flowers and start my usual routine. Ada just crouched as if to examine it. Then she just helped me with the caretaking routine, removing the dead leaves and flowers, and cleaning the picture and the light. We then took a walk around the cemetery. Might sound weird, but it's not unusual here, as many cemeteries double as parks here. Then sat outside for a smoke before the drive back. We talked a bit, and Ada, who's quite the stoic, got a little emotional. She was happy I had let her in on such what for me is a particularly intimate and sacred place, but also shaken because after all the talking we had done of my late wife, she subconsciously thought of her as someone she'd want to meet and be friends with. But seeing the grave reminded and cemented the fact that this amazing woman is gone. It was a bit of shaking for me too, seeing her tearing up, since she's the most stoic woman I've ever met, but also made me think how this woman is a rare gem. I don't doubt that in different circumstances, my late wife and Ada would have been great friends. And I'm a very lucky guy for finding not one but two amazing women which gave and still give my life meaning every day. Comments. Commenter. I've read so many posts here about people who have lost their partner and their new partner wants them to remove all memory of them as if they aren't an important part of your life story. Ada is a good one. All the best, OP. Answer: yeah, I read some of those posts too. Stuff of nightmares. Commenter: you are blessed to meet someone like Ada who is kind and understanding. Show your appreciation for her with your love and make her happy for the rest of your life. All the best. Answer: naturally, my friend. Making her happy and smile every day is my top priority. She gave me another chance at life. How do you like this story? Write your opinion in the comments. Let's get 1,000 subscribers on this channel. Love you.